Yeah. What's the deal? What's the deal? It's your boy, who is Hendo, and we back talking sports. So, I was watching the Cameron and Mace. It is what it is podcast. Really funny podcast, but really good too. They really doing their thing over there. Go check them out. But I was watching the podcast as I do, and they got Stephen A on here. Now, Stephen A. I like Stephen A. off of ESPN because he gets like really, really candid, and I like Stephen A. that curse, honestly. But anyways, he said some interesting things that I think have a lot of merit, and I want to talk about it. So he got into, what I'm saying, they got into the question, why did hasn't Mark Jackson been offered a coaching job? What I'm saying, since being in Golden State. And this is what Stephen A said.
Cooker to sit up there and say, I have a more peaceful scenario, a more tranquil scenario with not as much pressure. Gotcha. And I think that, to me, I haven't spoken to him about that as of yet, but to me, I would surmise that played a bigger role than what you expressed.
Gotcha. Why don't you think they're giving Mark Jackson a job or offering him a job?
I think my personal opinion is that Mark Jackson expressed some things when he was the coach of the Golden State Warriors that turned some people off, and they haven't forgiven him.
Right.
I understand the times that we're living in, the woke culture and all of that stuff. You got xenophobia, you got transphobia, you got homophobia and all of that stuff going on. But back then, it was really just beginning.
Right.
And him being a religious brother that endured some trials and tribulations and found God and was more religious than ever before, my personal opinion is that Mark Jackson spoke out about some things, turned a few folks off,
right,
and they never let it go. And so I think that because there's no excuse for him not to have had a head coaching job by now, considering the job he did in Golden State that set things up for Steve Kerr, and B, the success that Steve Kerr and the Golden State Warriors have had. Tradition shows that if you have that kind of success, then what somebody would say is, look at the success Golden State is having. I know Mark Jackson was gone, but he's the one that put all of this stuff in play. And so because he put all of this stuff in play, Draymond Green with Clay, a couple of years after Steph arrived, because all of this stuff was put in play, Mark Jackson's got something to do with it. Let him do it for us. That's what would usually happen. That did not happen in this particular situation. I believe that's the reason why.
So, it sounds like Mark Jackson is blackballed. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like because of his religious beliefs, he may have spoke out on maybe some things, maybe sexuality and everything. I'm not going to get nowhere near that because I'm not getting canceled. I'm not getting YouTube taking my videos down. But it sounds like he spoke something on that. And, probably men and women or something. And it sounds like they haven't forgiven him and they just not giving him a job. I can name at least 10 coaches that ain't got jobs in the last 5 years that Mark Jackson is at least as good or better than. Milwaukee coach that they just hired. Come on, man. That was an easy job for Mark Jackson. Billy Donovan over in Chicago. Like, it's a couple of jobs that Mark Jackson could have been up for. So, it's sounding like that Mark Jackson is blackballed, and that's just a sad case. That's really a sad case, man. Because as Stephen A. Smith said, he literally put the dynasty in place for Steve Kerr to come in and benefit from everything that Mark Jackson put in place. Mark Jackson, before anybody believed in Steph and Clay, said that they was the greatest shooting backcourt in history. He said that, bro. He said that, bro. This 9 years ago.
Hey, baby, it's Huggies. Oh, and everyone. We're all obsessed with your delicate skin. So we made our softest diaper ever to help take care of it. Because when your skin's healthy, you're happy. Huggies. We got you, baby.
Now this is 9 years ago, bro.
In April, you said you thought your two guys were potentially the best shooting backcourt of all time. Is that still how you feel?
I didn't say that. I said they are the greatest shooting backcourt that's ever played this game. I don't think it's a debate. They are two incredible shooters. And we have not seen a tandem as deadly as those two guys as far as shooting the basketball. So take out potential and call my bluff.
Curry right sideline. Throws to Thompson. He's open behind the screen. 3 ball. Klay Thompson, number 7.
Shot clock's at 3. Does Klay see it? He does. And hits the jumper.
He said that, bro. This was 9 years ago when he said that. 2014, bro. Before they ever won a championship. Before all that, when they was just really getting started. Curry had just started putting people on notice who he was. Klay was getting into his own. And it's sad that Mark Jackson hasn't gotten a coaching job, bro. This has been Who Is Hendo, man. I'm out, man. Peace.